The prison release of former 49er Dana Stubblefield was ordered by a Santa Clara County judge today. This coming after an appellate court overturned Stubblefield's rape conviction late last December. ABC 7 News reporter Zach Fuentes got reaction outside the courthouse, joining us live now with this new development. Zach?
Yeah, Larry, Stubblefield was at the courthouse today in from Corcoran State Prison, but he didn't go inside the courtroom because he wasn't allowed to wear civilian clothing, and his attorney said they didn't want him seen in prison clothes. And those attorneys today are praising the judge's decision. The district attorney's office, though, is saying that this is justice interrupted. A victory for former 49er Dana Stubblefield and his attorneys Friday in this Santa Clara County courtroom. A judge ordered Stubblefield to be released immediately.
It's a significant step for him to be home with his family tonight, where he should be, where he should have been the whole time.
The order comes after a December ruling by an appellate court overturning his rape conviction. The former 49er sentenced to 15 years to life in prison in the case. He was found guilty of raping a woman under threat of a gun after inviting her to his home to interview for a babysitting job in 2015. His defense team says the judge blocked key evidence from being admitted, including the accuser's confession that she was a paid sex worker.
This was the most infected trial I've ever seen.
Stubblefield said the interaction with the accuser was a paid consensual transaction. He was convicted in 2020, and a year later, California's Racial Justice Act took effect. The law bars prosecutors from seeking a conviction on the basis of race, ethnicity, and national origin. The appellate court ruled that the prosecution violated the act when it said in its closing argument that it didn't search Stubblefield's home for a gun over concerns it would open up a, quote, storm of controversy amid civil unrest at the time over the police killing of George Floyd.
When there were references to Mr. Stubblefield's race that had nothing to do with the case, that set the appellate court on notice that we need to go back and look carefully at this, and they said that was a violation, and they said he did not get a fair trial.
That move by the appellate court eventually led to Friday's order for release.
He's legally innocent, he had a legally invalid process, and that's where we are today.
In the bail hearing Friday, prosecutors said calling Stubblefield innocent is a misstatement since the appellate court ruled on the Racial Justice Act, not what the jury decided when Stubblefield was convicted. They said the Attorney General's office is appealing the overturned conviction to the California Supreme Court. In a statement following the hearing, the DA's office said in part that justice has been interrupted, and although we are disappointed that the judge released Mr. Stubblefield from custody while we await a decision from the California Supreme Court, we remain focused on the sexual assault that occurred, the victim, and the need for accountability and community safety. And the prosecutor did indicate in court today that they would refile charges against Stubblefield. Now, Stubblefield did have to return to Corcoran State Prison in Kings County to be released today. He and his attorney both plan to speak out in a press conference next week. Right now, live in the San Jose Bureau, Zach Fuentes, ABC 7 News.